Today we have with us ADG Law and Order Prashant Kumar to talk about on the organized crime in Uttar Pradesh and on the Mafiaraj that rules the state. So, UP Police has been intensifying its crackdown on Mafiaraj. My first question is that UP Police had been registering these gangs by a code name. Since how long have we been doing this, and how many gangs are so far at present registered with UP Police?
There is a traditional way of registering the gangs as per the police regulations. There has been paradigm shift in the way we used to tackle with such mafias. So, the mafias were categorized into various groups, like Bhu Mafia, then Mining Mafia, Forest Mafia, then Nakal Mafia, and obviously Aparadhik and the criminals. The gangs were hardcore criminals. There are certain gangs which are overlapping in different categories also. They are involved in some fishing business, some contract business, and they have monopolized certain areas also. So, the government right from the very beginning gave a mandate that the government has a zero tolerance towards crime and criminal, and they give us a free hand in breaking the economic empire of all the big mafias. So, for that, an anti-mafia task force was formed under the leadership of DGP UP, and mafias were identified, and all the top mafias, their monitoring and their gang members and action against them, where we started monitoring from the headquarters, and weekly we are sending information to government. Apart from that, the smaller ones and the other criminal gangs, they are being monitored from we have a zonal police system, then a range system, and then a district. And now we have 7 commissionerate also. The commissionerates are almost at par with the zones. So, the categorized mafia, we have, at present, we are monitoring around 66 gangs, and massive crackdown, depending upon their assets and their criminal activities. And then things have started changing, and you must have seen, because of the better law and order situation and perception, the UP has jumped in ease of doing business also. And if numbers are concerned, and it is in public domain, the NCRB data, they will tell you that in almost all the major heads, we are much better. And almost around 26th ranking in all the state. If we compare the crime rate, obviously UP is a bigger state, and number wise we cannot compete, but the real indices of comparison is the NCRB is doing is by the crime rate, and we are much comfortable.
Sir, as we believe, every mafia or gang needs some funding. And in UP, if we talk about UP, there are various mafias divided as per businesses, like fisheries. Mafias are into fisheries, they are into land mining, they are sand mining, they are into acquiring real estate, and then criminal, as you mentioned. So, which are the prominent businesses that mafias in UP derive funds from for running their show?
They have, we are working on their nexus with the real estate business. again in fisheries, mining, and other contracts, the major contracts.
जी, जी.
Earlier they used to take taxes also from the major project,
Correct, yeah.
from the companies who are doing who have taken, they are involved in some major projects of rail, road, electricity.
Correct.
But I think now it has totally vanished. And wherever we get the complaints, we deal very heavily with them.
And have we also prioritized like top 10 or top 5 gangsters? And if you could just name for us top 5 on the radar of the police right now.
We have identified top mafias, 66 mafias,
Okay.
which are being monitored. Apart from that, for criminal activity, we have some top 10 kind of a list in the district and then range and all, which is being monitored at the range level. But for mafia, we have a special task force.
Okay.
And but top mafias, and it is, I must, it is now in public domain. The mafias are from all over. So there is no discrimination of any kind.
Correct.
In identification and action being taken by UP. And we are totally, and one more thing, apart from confiscating their property under Gangster Act, these mafias have lot of encroachments also on government land.
Okay. Okay.
So property worth some thousands of crores, it has been freed, and proper demolition after following the proper norms.
Okay.
We have demolished those properties, and they did not get any relief from anywhere.
Sir, if we
That shows that we are taking action as per law.
And if we particularly talk about UP Police's crackdown against mafias, you said 66 mafias currently are on the list. If we talk about past, like in the past 2 or 5 years, how many such mafias have been neutralized, or maybe the gangs have completely been busted in a rough scale?
I think in the past 4-5 years, we have removed certain names also, against whom we have already taken proper action, and they have been accounted for, or they have died either natural death or some police action, and it has a very salutary effect in general public perception.
So, like you mentioned, Gangster Act 14(1), where seizures of properties are made. As a top cop, UP top cop, how do you think that seizure of property particularly has helped police in controlling the mafias in the state?
No, once you seize those properties, we go to court also. From court also we can get conviction, and then those properties can be used for any government purposes.
Okay.
Like we can open some offices in that, we can build some offices in that area. There are instances when the demolition was done, and now some housing project for poor people, the government is thinking. It is coming up also.
So, it has helped in breaking the backbone of this Mafiaraj.
Yes. Basically, our effort is to break the backbone of the economic funding which the mafias are getting.
Okay. And most of it is real estate and property.
Yes.
A large part of it.
Some extortion also.
Yeah. Sir, talking about numbers, because police action has gone up, prosecution has gone up, has the conviction rate also in past few years gone up?
Yes.
And if we can
you just see, we can provide you the data, and out of those, apart from the general conviction, we have secured conviction of these mafias and their gang members. All the important mafias, they have been convicted recently.
Okay.
Having the criminal history of some 100 or 70, 75, and the first time in 30-40 years that we have got secured conviction. We have produced our witnesses, provided them security as per the Honorable Supreme Court guideline, Witness Protection Act, and that's why people have started coming once they have faith that yes, police is working in a bona fide direction, and honorable courts have appreciated the action of police and prosecution branch. We have a beautiful coordination with our prosecution branch. And apart from mafia, the government priority is for safety and security of women, and in that also the conviction rate against crime related to women, we are the number one in the country. The time bound disposal of POXO cases, we are number one in the state, which is being monitored by MHA. Recently, in the past 7-8 months, we were at 7th or 8th place. Now we are number one.
Sir, because prosecutions have gone up and like you said, so has conviction. I believe armed seizures from gangsters have also gone up. So, if you could just highlight a bit on this, that what kind of arms have been seized in the past and has it drastically gone up because the crackdown has increased?
You see, these criminal gangs and their members, they have somehow secured licenses also for weapon.
True.
By hiding their identity or fudging the document. So that severe action was taken, and some AK-47 and other factory-made weapons also have been recovered in large number. And mostly, I think if you move in UP, you will not see anyone moving with rifle, oozing out from their vehicles or openly moving with guns.
Correct.
Which was a very normal feature earlier.
Okay. And sir, if leaving data behind, if we just in general talk about like, because you deal with these gangsters and gangs at everyday basis, what are the choices of these gangsters, and have choices of weapons also advanced in years? What are the weapons that these gangs are using right now, and what are the major source of these weapons, because police have also cracked down on sources of weapons a lot.
You see, the action on mafia is a very small aspect of the whole ecosystem.
Correct.
The way government has invested on police department, the way the infrastructure has come up, the transparent and impartial recruitment of around 160,000 people, and apart from that, time-bound promotion in the lower ranks. This has motivated the men, the men on ground, and that has made a difference. There is no discrimination in posting, and everybody is getting a very stable tenure. Like at the police station level, in deputy SP level, and district level, and all the field postings. They get a total no interference basically in the day-to-day working of. Once the task is given, then they have all freedom to act as per law. So we don't, any deviation inside the department is taken very seriously and dealt very sternly as per the departmental conduct rule, or if it is criminal in nature, then accordingly.
Sure. So many of the criminals have been put behind by the UP police, put behind bars, and there have been time and again news, and in every state, not just UP, that they've been running their nexus from jails as well. So what crackdowns have been on the jails and the these gangs operating from within the jail?
No, jails, you see, the government is very harsh. You must have seen in recent past, wherever we have got some complaint, government has come down very heavily on erring jail authorities, and action has been taken. Some of them have been booked also for connivance, and government is committed, and recently I have read that now the DG jail is introducing more and more technical kind of a thing, and he would be using some artificial intelligence how to control these things. And we have a real time and seamless integration with at every level. So that we have certain IPS officer also have been posted recently
Okay.
with the jail department. Their services has been placed with the jail department so that more efficient and transparent system can be developed.
So social media is one field where UP Police has excelled when we compare to other state polices. We'll come to how police uses social media, we'll come to that later. But if you could just highlight briefly, how do gangs make use of social media on accounts on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram? How they have been using social media to expand their reign?
You see, social media is a double-edged weapon.
Correct.
It's an asset for us also. At the same time, we should be very careful. Sometimes you see there is a false narrative being generated. Mostly these criminal gangs, and they have their interested people. They are highlighting, unnecessary highlighting, and the police action which are totally legal in nature, and they will try to project as if
Exactly.
it is it's a wrong thing is being done by police, and they try to raise the passion. They will they try to take advantage of the fissures in the society, and on the basis of caste, religion,
Very correct. Yeah.
and then economic disparity, those kind of things. So we have a very dedicated team at the headquarters and in all the police stations. We keep round the clock vigil. Any trend which is emerging, we try to nip the things in the bud itself, and we have been quite successful. And our response on social media has also improved tremendously. Earlier, our response time was around 30 minutes. Now it has come down to
And this is
8 or
across
9
platforms.
minutes. Yes, across. And we have recently we have a collaboration with the Facebook.
Okay.
And we have saved some crucial lives. That guys who are people who are going to commit suicide.
Exactly.
So round the clock we get alert and we immediately send our response vehicles PRV 112, and even a single life saved is a big contribution.
Correct.
And our people have responded and really done well. And apart from that, you must be aware that because of our response time by social media or by our police response vehicle, there has been no communal incident, no riot.
Sir, what is your social media infrastructure, if you could just elaborate, and how have the UP police been using social media to not just fight gangsters, but also combat misinformation and
No, from
rumors?
a government side, government is investing a lot in upgradation of our social media cells, and in all the major, all the commissionerate and zonal headquarters. So we have identified a proper land, a proper building is being here, is being built, and the money has been sanctioned, where we will have a data vault on which we can monitor all the social media platform and respond quickly.
So one last question. Recently
We have the one of the, I think it's the only fact check handle in the police department in India.
Oh, great. Sir, one last question. Two names have recently cropped up in the news, Atiq Ahmed and Mukhtar Ansari. If we briefly discuss that, because Atiq has been gunned down as we saw and Mukhtar is in jail. If we talk about these two gangs in particular, when the two chiefs are not there, what is the police input, that who are calling the shots, how are these gangs operating, and what are the businesses that these two independent gangs have been indulging into in UP?
No, I told you that there's a perception has been made that these are the only two gangs. I told you there are gangs in Western UP also, in Bundelkhand also, in Eastern UP also, and vested interest people are saying that we are only after these guys.
Correct.
And we have got a secured conviction for other guys also. We have destroyed totally the gangs of Western UP, some of them. And they are totally, but they are all of them are behind bars. Sushil Mooch, Badauda. If you see the names, So it's not like, but obviously we are keeping track of everyone now who is coming. So we have the whole chart of the gang members. So anybody is trying to taking charge or taking over, we'll take action against as per law.
So just adding one point to it, recently in one of your interviews to a news outlet, I had read that you had reiterated and that these encounters, there has been made a misconception that it is only being done against one community. It, like you also said, you're using social media to spread awareness that it is not so. If you could just add one line on that.
No. When the police is taking action against criminal, how can you take identify? You can choose between one caste or one religion and one community. It's not. It's all false propaganda generated by. If you see the breakups, which you must have seen in. It is very. I think it is in favor of what we say and what we reiterate, that it is totally caste, religion, and region neutral. We don't discriminate while taking action against criminal.
Correct.
Anybody high and mighty who is at fault, we proceed against them as per law.
Fine. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you.
This was Mr. Prashant Kumar, ADG Law and Order, talking to CNN News 18 in this exclusive interview with video journalist Vikas Rawat from UP Police Headquarters.